Hey everybody, welcome back to another Jackson Jetsetting cruise video. Today I'm telling you what you need to know before sailing on Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas. This was my first time sailing on a ship of her class, and I'll cover the best things to do on board, like restaurants, bars, tips, tricks, and secrets that will make your next cruise vacation amazing. But before we dive in, if you love this type of content, please subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and drop a comment below. Really helps us out, and we've got tons of cruise content coming down the pipeline. So a little about Ovation of the Seas. Ovation of the Seas launched in 2016 as the third Quantum class ship built, so she's just under 10 years old right now. These are quickly becoming some of my favorite ships. They feel almost as big as Oasis class ships and have a wide variety of things to do, a lot of them unique to this class of ship. I do miss the water slides though on Ovation, and I imagine older kids will too, so there's one big tip there. If your kids are into water slides, this is probably not the ship for you. If you do want a full ship tour of Ovation, check out my video linked down below in the description. In 2026, Ovation is scheduled for a major dry dock in Singapore. They'll be adding Izumi Teppanyaki, Giovanni's Italian Kitchen, a pesky parrot bar, a Starbucks, and a new nightclub called the Sound Cellar. So it looks like I'll have to step on board in 2026 again to experience all the changes. Now, Ovation sails many different destinations. It's moved around a lot, mostly in the Pacific during its time at sea. I caught Ovation out of Los Angeles, where it's doing short sailings to Ensenada, Catalina Island, and Cabo San Lucas right now. However, the ship will move back to Asia before the 2026 Alaska season for that dry dock. We'll also be returning to Los Angeles in 2026. Los Angeles' main airport, LAX, is a short 45-minute drive thereabouts from the port, depending on traffic. There's parking directly at the port, making this one of the easier drivable ports if you can avoid the LA snarl during rush hour. So booking and pre-planning. Once you've booked, download the Royal Caribbean app. You can pre-book beverage packages, unlimited dining, excursions, and more, usually at a discount, especially if you catch a sale like Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Online check-in opens 45 days before your cruise, and that makes embarkation day much smoother. I got on board Ovation in less than 15 minutes. If you want a little extra help getting on board, purchase the Key, which has perks like priority boarding and an embarkation lunch based off of the Chops menu, among other things. Suite guests also receive priority boarding as well. If you're looking for help planning your next cruise vacation, we can definitely help. Reach out to jacksonjetsetting.com/book for a free quote. Booked guests receive complimentary price watch on their cruise. If the price drops before final payment, we can rebook clients at a new lower price, complimentary. So now let's talk dining on board Ovation of the Seas. So Ovation has plenty of dining options. They have the main dining room and the Windjammer, and that is included and always a good option. Especially restaurants, they have Jamie's Italian. I'll be honest, I haven't loved the food here, but on my cruise, I dined here twice because the service was so great. And just know that after the dry dock is completed, this will be a Giovanni's. Izumi, this is my favorite specialty option on board most Royal ships. There's no hibachi currently on Ovation, and that will change with the dry dock as well. They have classic favorites like Chops Grill, but they also have Wonderland, which is not my favorite restaurant Royal Caribbean has ever made. You can save money on specialty dining by purchasing the unlimited dining option at a discount before your cruise, or making a single reservation directly. Also on embarkation day, check for discounts on specialty dining. I've gotten up to 50% off the first night in the past. Now for bars and lounges, 3 favorites stand out to me. The Scooter Bar has great cocktails, fun bartenders, and I like the design of this one on Ovation. There's plenty of seating and very nice piano music throughout much of the cruise. The Amber and Oak is the ship's pub, which features a lot of trivia and live music, as well as an a la carte snack menu, which was fun to try. And then the 270 Bar, which is located conveniently for shows in the 270 venue, but during the day it has great views aft of the ship sailing, very close to water level, very fun spot to just enjoy the outdoors from the indoors. Now let's talk entertainment on board Ovation of the Seas. Every night in the Royal Theater you'll find a new show or entertainment. Broadway style productions like Live Long Legs and The Beautiful Dream play. I much preferred Live Long Legs. You'll have several shows in 270 as well, which are the only shows that you need to reserve in the app before your cruise. I do recommend doing so as capacity is pretty limited in 270. You'll also find live music in venues like Schooner Bar and Boleros, trivia and game shows in the music hall, which connect to the casino on Ovation, which is kind of fun. So lots of things to do on board, and there's also plenty of activities as well, especially the North Star Observation Pod and iFly indoor skydiving. You can book extended experiences for these before your cruise, But if you're looking for a free experience, book a time during your cruise as soon as you get on the ship's Wi-Fi. You can also book roller skating in advance on the app once you get on board with Wi-Fi. The other activities like flow rider and rock climbing are first come, first served. The biggest tip you'll find from me in this video, though, is if you are interested in the bumper cars, which is something that Royal Caribbean definitely advertises about Ovation of the Seas, you should get the key or stay in a Star Class suite. You'll skip the hour-plus long line that starts well before the activity begins. I did this with my key package and it was fantastic. I was able to do bumper cars twice. Ovation features 2 indoor pool areas, the adults-only solarium, and then an indoor pool on the main deck that's open to all ages. I love this as the Pacific can get cold, but a climate-controlled environment was fantastic for everyone. My surprisingly chilly sailing in August of 2025. Now let's talk cabin strategy. I stayed in an interior cabin with a virtual balcony on my sailing, which you can find in my review of Ovation below. It is a pretty tall ship, so I do recommend that if you are someone who likes to hang out on the pool decks, to be a little bit closer to those. And then all the indoor decks are going to be low on the ship, so maybe finding a cabin on one of the lower decks is great. Basically, most of the passenger cabins are going to be sandwiched in between the higher decks and the lower decks. Of course, the most popular cabins are balconies, and there are many on Ovation, and they'll be adding even more cabins on Ovation, over 40 during the upcoming dry dock. So that's everything you need to know before sailing on Ovation of the Seas. You can check out my full ship tour and review video linked down below for more details. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and reach out if you want help booking your next cruise. Thanks a lot, and see you on board.